Hi, I'm Layla, and I figured out two things very early in life. One, my older sister Fiona is dumb, and two, she really hates me. Fiona is a year older than me, but it didn't take me too long to catch up with her. I was talking before she did, and I learned how to read while she was still struggling with the alphabet. My parents loved showing me off, and I think it really bothered Fiona.
Sweetie, why don't you recite the poems you learned for our guests?
Layla, tell your aunt the cool thing that you read in your encyclopedia yesterday.
Just then, Fiona came running, wearing her bathing suit over her clothes.
Look at me! I look like a mermaid in my baby soup!
Your what?
My baby soup, Mom! Baby soup? This, You don't understand anything I say. Oh, just help me take it off. It's stuck in my limbo.
I think she's saying her bathing suit is stuck in her elbow, Mom.
Oh, I see, Layla. You're so bright, silly Fiona.
Did I mention that? I sometimes taught Fiona the wrong words because it was funny when she sounded stupid? Yeah, I'm not very proud of that now, but that's not the only reason she hated me. I was the only one in my family with red hair, and my parents loved it, especially Mom, who would do all sorts of hairstyles.
Layla, your hair looks so magical. Let's try braids today.
You know why it looks magical? Because she's a leopard clown.
You mean a leprechaun? She told me all the time that my parents pretended to like my red hair, so I wouldn't feel bad.
When you were born, Mom and Dad cried tears of ugliness for days. They even tried to give you up for adoption. No one wanted you.
And one time she even tried to chop my hair off. And things got worse when in 8th grade she failed a class and ended up being with me. As if our parents weren't enough, our history teacher, Miss Sheldon, loved comparing her to me in front of everyone.
Your assignment is just appalling, Fiona. Did you see your sisters? Magnifique! Why can't you be more like her? Didn't you do any research? What's there to research? Someone ugly said something dumb to someone boring a long time ago, and then some lame war broke out. Who cares about this stuff? A person who wants to have an educated mind? Who cares what's on the inside when the package is this pretty? Looks are not important. Huh? That's ugly people talk. Did your boyfriend ever say that? Oh, wait. I bet you've never had one. Detention. Now.
The next day before history class, I saw Fiona putting a mug of coffee on Miss Sheldon's table. While everyone else was snickering, I was instantly suspicious. Fiona, what are you up to?
What? I'm just trying to make up for my behavior yesterday.
What did you put in there?
I don't know. Maybe some spit, maybe some laxative, maybe both. Who can say?
Just then, Miss Sheldon walked in, and Fiona handed her the mug sweetly with an apology. But I tried taking it away from her. I really don't think you should have that.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
Why? Is there something in the coffee? Layla, tell me now.
No, I just don't think you need to drink coffee. It gives you really bad breath. Give that to me, please. I ended up spilling the whole thing on her white coat.
Oh my God, you dumb butt kisser. You ruined my whole plan.
The next thing I knew, I was in detention too, with Fiona for the very first time in my life. But suddenly, Fiona was freaking popular. No one liked Miss Sheldon much, and everyone thought Fiona was super cool for trying to mess with her. And now she was using her newfound power to turn everyone against me. She was the beautiful, fun blonde, and I was the red-haired, nerdy sister being called things like Carrot Top and Ketchup Head. Boy, could girls be mean. Eventually, the teasing got old, or I just learned to ignore it. But soon I was given an assignment in history class to do a presentation on Scotland. The more I studied, the happier I felt. There were so many cool red-headed Scots, and I definitely felt better about my hair. Before class, I went to the bathroom to change into a kilt. I had spent hours making it just for the presentation. But just then, my sister walked in. She pulled out her phone and started taking pictures.
Going back home, leprechaun.
Buzz off, Fiona!
You look so stupid. What is that? A cool girl skirt?
It's a kilt! Get out of my way!
You can't leave yet. Leprechauns can't travel without a rainbow.
With that, she pulled out some paints from her backpack and squirted them all over my outfit. I ran out of the bathroom, crying angry tears. Fiona did get detention, but it was her millionth time, and she didn't give a hoot. The next year, I got a fresh start. Our dad had gotten a new job across the state, which meant I was going to a new high school. I was determined to end the teasing that my red hair gave me. Hey, Mom. Now that I'm 16, I think I should get to make some choices about my hair. I'd like to change the color.
But your hair is beautiful, sweetie.
I know you like it, Mom, but I just want to try something a little more mature, you know?
I guess if that's what you want, you're growing up so fast.
Thanks, Mom! I ran straight to the store and bought a box of black hair dye, and it worked. My hair was dark and silky. No more red.
Do you think that'll fool anyone? You can't cover up what you are, little leprechaun.
Whatever, Fiona. Don't you have something stupid to do? Go away!
Just saying. The truth always comes out.
The first day of school was like a dream come true. No one said anything about my hair. I blended right in and even got a few compliments on my cute outfit, which I'd added some accessories to myself. Fiona was right back in with the cheerleaders, but this was the first time she and I were in a co-ed school, and being around boys was making her even dumber.
The football captain and I went out last night, but he never called or texted me back. I don't get it. I think he was even hiding from me in school.
Okay, how did the date go?
It was amazing, like we were meant to be. There was just one awkward moment when this weird girl came to our table and started flirting with him. And I bit her hand really hard. I'm sure she got the message that he's not interested in her. He was just too nice to say it.
You scared him off, you psycho! How about you don't act like a jealous, blood-sucking vampire next time? But she continued her serial dating and getting heartbroken, and I was getting sick of her stories. It's not like she took my advice. Other than that, school was going great. I was doing well in my classes and had even joined the drama club as a costume designer. A play was being held soon, but the main actor fell ill right before the performance. I had to make sure his understudy fit in the costume, but I didn't even recognize him. I ran frantically through the dressing room shouting, "Hey! Is there anyone named Skylar here?"
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, I need you to take off your clothes right now. He grinned, and I blushed as people around us started laughing. I didn't... Okay, wait. Let me start over. You need to try this on right now, and I have to make sure this fits you. I'm the costume person, not a pervert.
I know, I've seen you around, Layla. Right. I'll just change into this and be right back.
This Skylar was freaking cute, and he knew my name. His shirt was missing a button, and my heart was skipping beats as I stitched it on. There! You're all set!
Thanks, Layla. Wish me luck.
Break your legs. A leg? Only one? Single. Just a figure of speech, anyway. Ugh, gosh, I sounded dumber than Fiona. So I was quite surprised when Skylar came and sat next to me at recess the next day. He was funny and sweet, and I was having a great time talking to him.
By the way, I'm part of the student council, and currently we're deciding on a theme for the homecoming dance. Any ideas? I can never think of anything other than sports themes.
If you like sports, maybe you could do the Scottish Highland Games.
Wow, I love Scottish stuff. This is a really good idea. Thanks, Layla.
Just then, Fiona dropped her butt right next to him.
Mind if I join your table? I'm Fiona, Layla's sister.
Don't mind at all.
Also, I couldn't help overhearing your conversation. Homecoming is all about the football games. We should totally do a varsity theme. I'll wear my cheerleading outfit. It'll be so cool.
I was fuming. I couldn't believe she was butting herself into this too. Didn't she have enough guys to date? They just couldn't let me be happy. I spent the rest of lunch just sitting there and listening to them talk about school sports. A couple of weeks passed, and neither Skylar nor Fiona talked to me. But I was busy with my studies and my friends, and I was happy for a change. I wasn't going to be bothered by some guy I barely knew. But then one day, Skylar stopped me in the hall on the way to class.
Hey, Layla, wait up. Sorry, I haven't been around much. I've been super busy getting everything ready for homecoming week.
Oh yeah, it's whatever. I've been really busy too.
Well, I hope you're not too busy to maybe go to the dance with me. If you aren't going with anyone else.
The dance? With you? I'd love to.
Great, I'll meet you there.
I couldn't believe it. No teasing, new friends, and even a date to homecoming? I was practically skipping everywhere the rest of the day until I got home.
Word around school is that Skylar asked you to homecoming?
Yeah, and?
Well, I'm here to tell you that he isn't going with you. He is going with me.
Says who?
Says this.
She held up her phone and showed me the picture she had taken of me in a kilt with my bright red hair. Hey, get rid of that!
Tell him you can't go with him, or I show this picture to the entire school.
No, don't you dare!
It's up to you.
Fine. I didn't want to go to that stupid dance anyway. The next day at school, I told Skylar I wasn't going to go to the dance with him. He tried to change my mind, but there was no way I was going to let him see that picture of me. He looked a bit hurt, and I felt awful, but I didn't have a choice. The night of the dance, I tried to stay home. But the thought of Fiona laughing and having fun with Skylar made me feel like I might explode. I quickly got ready, then sped my car to the dance. I burst through the doors and saw Fiona dancing, surrounded by her friends. But I didn't see Skylar anywhere. Just then, there was a hand on my shoulder.
Layla, I thought you couldn't make it.
Yeah, me too, 'cause I was scared.
Scared of what?
Of you finding out the truth. Fiona was beside us with her phone in her hand. Within a few seconds, everyone's phones were going off, including Skylar's. He pulled it out of his pocket and opened a message. And there was that picture of me. She had sent it to everyone.
Wait, is that you, Layla?
You know what? Yeah, that is me. I dyed my hair black, but it's actually red as a tomato. And if you hate it, then you're all just shallow and stupid.
Hate it? I love it.
What? What?
Layla, you're cool the way you are.
So are you. May I have this dance? You may just give me 1 second, though. Listen, you bimbo. I've kept putting up with you and making excuses for your behavior, but I've had enough. You tried your best to humiliate me, but it was an epic failure, so in your face. Now please get a life and act less desperate, and I'm sure you'll be able to land a boyfriend with the same IQ as you. Just leave me alone, okay? That weekend, I took the dye out of my hair, and Fiona dyed hers red. But it wasn't real, not like mine. I was beautifully redheaded and very happy to be me. Hi everyone, my name is Heron and I live in Seoul, South Korea. I was only 4 years old when I learned that something was very wrong with my mom. Other children always hug and kiss their parents. Why can't we do that, Mommy?
Don't call me that!
She turned to leave and I seized my chance. I dashed to her and embraced her tightly. Just go like this, Mommy, it's easy. She literally ran away from me.
Don't touch me! I'm wearing Chanel!
She didn't truly want anything to do with me. She used maids, butlers, and money to keep me at a distance my entire life. Initially, I believed something was wrong with me. However, my cousin Laki completely disagreed.
Heron, you're my best friend in the whole world because you are perfect. Your mom is just a witch.
I was so jealous. Laki's parents were amazing. Even though they were quite poor and lived all the way in America, they tried to visit every other year. They video called me frequently, and I loved them dearly. One day, Laki called me with some incredible news.
My dad's company just blew up overnight. We're finally gonna be rich!
That's amazing. What's even more incredible is that I can afford tickets to visit you. Ask that witch if I can stay over. I went out to talk to Mom, but she was sitting there with some strange men.
Heron, here you are. Come meet the boy I want you to date.
He what?
He owns diamond mines. Diamonds! You can date him now and get married after college.
No way! Have you gone insane?
Don't you dare insult me in front of everyone!
Don't you dare try to ruin my life. Lucky is right. You're a witch. Her guests laughed and she turned red.
You ungrateful little? Go to your room!
I did go to my room. I also called Laki and devised my first and best cunning plan. I can't take it anymore. I'm running away from home. Now that your parents are wealthy, can I live with you?
If they say no, I'll hide you in my room. Get over here!
Thankfully, Aunt and Uncle loved the idea and welcomed me there with open arms. They didn't even tell my mom and I could escape without any drama. I finally got away from my crazy mother. And the best part, I was going to live with my best friend Laki. And I literally jumped and screamed the entire first night. On my second night, reality hit me. I was in a new country, I didn't know the language, and I was going to start at a new school. Yikes. What if everyone hates me? What if they think I look weird?
They won't! I'll translate everything for you and I'll do your hair and makeup!
She did my makeup for practice, and it made me want to cry. She literally painted my face and used tape to pull my skin back. She even put tape on my eyes so I had a crease.
See? All we need to do is dye your hair blonde like me and you'll fit right in.
I stopped her. I had gotten away from Mom to be myself and love myself. I was going to be fine in my own skin. Turns out I was more than fine. I walked into school for my first day and a boy stopped me in my tracks.
Whoa! I've never seen any girl like you. You're beautiful.
He thinks you're pretty! Oh my god!
Then the boy got down on one knee and asked me out on a date.
He's asking you out? But you just got here. You don't need to pick the first guy in line.
We ran away before we screamed with excitement. I'd never been asked out like that before. The first day was already fun, but only because Lucky was by my side. Without her, everything was suddenly impossible. I didn't understand a word anyone was saying. One boy was trying to warn me about a spider on my shirt, and I didn't get it until it crawled on my face. I didn't even know how to ask the teacher if I could go to the bathroom. I just walked out of class silently and she started yelling at me. I was almost in tears before someone told her I couldn't understand her. One day, Lucky was auditioning for the cheerleading squad, so I went with her for support. We were dancing together for practice when suddenly the cheer squad walked up to us.
Wow, you're an amazing dancer. Who are you?
Lucky introduced me, and the girl asked me to join the cheer squad.
But what about the auditions?
No need for those. We like Heron. Tell her to join us.
Obviously, I turned them down right away. I wasn't going to snatch Lucky's place. She pretended it didn't bother her, but I know that it did. At home, Aunt and Uncle were trying way too hard to be nice to me. They asked me endless questions, and they kept buying me over-the-top gifts. Uncle even bought me a car.
You gave Heron a car before me?
We can get you a car too, sweetie.
You should have thought of me first.
Lakey stormed away and locked herself in her room. I had to slip like 50 apology notes under her door to get her to come out. They just feel bad for me because of my terrible mom. Come on, don't be upset. She came around and I thought things would get better. Until one day when Derek, the cutest guy in school, walked up to us at lunch.
Oh my god, I have such a huge crush on Derek.
Have you told him that?
I dropped major hints the last time we were in class. Maybe he's finally gonna ask me out.
We squealed in delight till he came within earshot. Then Derek walked right past Lakey and stood in front of me.
Wow, you're really cute. I've never seen you here before. Are you new?
I had no idea what he said, but Lucky turned white as a ghost. Derek started saying more things I couldn't understand, and then he just patted my head and left. What was that?
He asked me out on a date.
You? But I feel like he was talking to me?
He was just being shy. He said he wants to take me out to dinner.
Oh, wow! That's amazing! I jumped, but Lucky didn't join me. In fact, she started acting so weird she refused to sit with me at lunch anymore. And she started walking home from school alone. When she went out for a date with Derek, she told some random girl at school all about it instead of me. I barged into their conversation and pulled her away. What's wrong with you? Why are you ignoring me?
Why can't we have our separate lives?
Lucky, you're my best friend. I want to be with you.
So I can keep being your translator all the time. I love you, but Heron, I need some space from you right now. Just be on your own.
Fine, I don't need you either. Just watch me. I joined online classes for English and started taking a book of translations with me everywhere. I was going to learn this language and yell at Lucky in English for being such a jerk. I got better fast. English wasn't as hard as it looked. I could even hold decent conversations on my own. And I made a few friends. We were in the cafeteria one day when Derek walked up to me. He had flowers in his hands and his friend from the band was playing the flute. What?
Heron, I know you didn't want to go out with me then, but I can't stop thinking about you. Will you give me a chance?
What are you talking about? You wanted to go out with me?
I asked you out that day, remember? Lucky said you didn't want to go, so she came on our date instead.
She what? I stared at Lucky with my jaw loose. She was already in tears.
Okay, fine. Derek asked you out, not me. Happy? I was jealous, so I lied and I went to see him.
Are you serious? You're such a freak. What's wrong with you?
Hey, don't talk to her like that.
We missed our date because of this pathetic loser. Jeez, how desperate can you get?
I just lost it. I flew forward and punched Derek right in the face. It was a total blur, and suddenly I was at the principal's office. Derek had an ice pack on his bleeding nose, and my aunt and uncle were getting screamed at. I got suspended from school for a whole week. Lucky and I had the biggest fight ever at home. I would never date someone you had a crush on. How could you be so mean to me over some stupid boy?
It's not about the boy. Ever since you came here, you've just taken over my friends, the cheer squad, the guy I like. You're getting everything. Even my own parents like you better than me.
Lakey, don't say that. You're sisters.
We're cousins. I'm your daughter. But all you want to do is talk to Heron and buy her crazy presents, when I never got treated that way.
We're just trying to make up for past mistakes.
What mistakes?
That was when my aunt told us her final. Lucky and I were non-identical twins. They were my parents. I sat there in shock while my aunt explained how poor they were when we were born and how they had to give me away to her rich sister. Why did you keep Lockie? Why not me?
You were having a lot of medical issues as a baby. We couldn't manage the bills. I thought my sister would take better care of you.
I see. I thought I had one mother who didn't want me. Turns out I had 3 parents and none of them wanted me.
Heron, it's not like that!
I got up and ran to my room. I started packing my things through a haze of tears.
Heron, no, please don't leave. I'm so sorry.
You abandoned me with a monster. You waited 17 years to tell me the truth. Don't pretend you care. I stormed out and didn't look back. Once I was done trusting my family, my heart was broken. I sold the car Uncle gave me and used the money to rent an apartment. Got a job and focused on my studies. I turned my heart to stone. So when Lucky tried to apologize to me 100 times, she always failed. I did miss her a lot, especially during the special moments of my life. When I got into the college of my choice. When I got my first job. On the day of my wedding, I almost called her twice. Lucky had become a huge influencer with millions of followers. She was only a DM away, but I felt too guilty for not making up earlier. My husband and I went hiking in a national park for our honeymoon when suddenly a crazy storm hit us and I got separated from the hiking group. I shouted till I lost my voice, but no one heard me. I walked and walked until I realized I was just moving in circles. I'm not giving up. You can't have me, Forrest. I was lost in that jungle for 3 days and 3 nights. I hid in caves when it rained, and I only survived because of the water and food in my backpack. On the 3rd night, I was about to go to sleep when I suddenly heard people shouting my name. Thank God. I raced out of my cave to see hundreds of people walking in the forest with torches, and the person who was running towards me, screaming her head off, was Lucky. No way, Lucky! I found you! I found you! Lucky and I hugged each other so hard, we fell to the ground.
I'm so happy you're okay. Oh, thank God.
How are you here?
Who else was gonna find you? My followers work way faster than the police.
I burst into tears and hugged my sister tight. Lucky, I don't know what I would have done without you. I'm so sorry.
Don't you dare say sorry to me. You were the one who got left with that witch. I was all you had, and I was so terrible to you. Just forget everything that's happened before this, today. You saved my life, and I'll love you forever for it. I love you too.
Oh, I've missed you so much. Just then, Mom saw me and she broke down crying.
Heron, you're safe. I thought I'd lost you forever. I'm so sorry, Heron. I'm sorry I gave you away. My baby girl. I just thought I couldn't take care of you. I loved you too much. And if something happened to you just because I couldn't afford the medical care, I would've...
You did your best, Mom. I know you did.
Didn't you just say Mom?
Yes, Mom.
Oh my God.
My mom hugged me again, and Dad joined in seconds later. We cried and laughed together, and my family was finally whole.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I live in Canada. Please like and subscribe to Luna Avatar. I was born in a vibrant city full of colors, but I can only see a few of them. I found out I was colorblind when I was just 3 years old. People think my world is just black and white, but actually, to me, a rainbow is only blue and yellow. It's a genetic thing because my dad is colorblind too. Oh, and he was super rich, so we lived in this huge mansion. It wouldn't be so bad to be just like him. The trouble began when I started going to school. My teacher went crazy trying to explain colors to me, but I couldn't identify a single one correctly. The other kids just made it worse, especially my classmates Cindy and Ryan. They were twins, and they were both super annoying. They would judge and review my outfit every single day in front of everyone. Dad and I couldn't spot a lot of patterns, so most of the time, I honestly had no idea what I actually looked like.
She looked like a stupid clown. Did you get dressed in the dark?
I'm colorblind!
What is that? That's fake.
Cindy even told the whole class that I was lying about a weird fake disease to cover up my stupidity, and everyone looked at me like I was dumb. Ryan was somehow even more annoying than Cindy. He wanted to test and see if I was telling the truth, so he would randomly put paint marks on my things to see if I would notice. Stop ruining my things!
You jerk! I knew you lied. You could see them.
I don't see some colors! Some! One day, Cindy went too far. She stole my sketchbook, tore up all my drawings, and pasted them all over the school hallway. The whole class laughed at my blue tree and green skies. I attacked her and we started fighting on the ground while all the other kids cheered. Suddenly, Ryan showed up and stopped us.
Stop it, Cindy. Take the pictures down.
What's up with you? You're taking her side?
If she's really colorblind, we shouldn't make fun of her.
I was in shock. Ryan was defending me. Cindy walked away fuming and I thanked him. Not only did he take down all the pictures and clear everyone out, but he also apologized for not believing me. He then spent days asking me tons of questions to better understand my condition.
Is everyone in your family colorblind? Is it like temporary memory loss? If I hit you on the head, will you see colors again?
Oh, that was such a dumb question. But honestly, he's kinda cute. I thought we could actually become friends, but something happened that ruined it all. The interview to get into a fancy private middle school. All the kids wanted to get into that school because it was the only good one in the entire town, and the competition was insane. Unfortunately, I didn't do well on the test, and the teacher didn't hesitate to cut me from the pass list. Cindy laughed out loud.
Ha! I knew you were stupid.
Before the first tear could say goodbye from my eyes, my dad jumped into action. He offered the school a huge donation to accept me.
Sorry, but we don't have any spots left for any more children. Even if you—
I'll double the donation, then give her someone else's spot.
Dad, that's cheating! The teacher's eyes lit up when she saw the check. And unfortunately, Cindy was the one who got picked.
You have the lowest marks after Hannah, so it has to be you.
The stupid teacher was so happy about the donation that she let it slip, and Cindy and her parents went crazy with rage.
This is bribery. This is unfair.
The crowd of adults became chaotic and started fighting each other. Ryan gave me the worst look ever.
I can't believe you would do this!
I knew he was cheating, but Dad refused to back down. We joined our new school, and Ryan came without his twin. One day, he told us that Cindy had been sent to boarding school.
None of the other schools in town are good. Now she has to live away from her family. I hope you're happy, Hannah.
That was the day we became enemies. He hated me. I felt guilty, so I bought him a lot of presents as an apology, but he kept throwing them back in my face.
You can't buy me, you brat!
He told everyone that I was only here because of bribery, and they all thought I was a rich, spoiled jerk. He called me stupid names in class, and he made fun of my outfit so much that I started asking my maids to choose them for me. As if school wasn't hard enough, as I was growing up, the subjects were getting harder, and our textbooks labeled everything in different colors. I could hardly understand what my teachers were teaching because they always used colored chalk and gave us color-coded notes for every class. Every time I failed, Ryan was ready to attack me.
Oh, isn't your dad super rich? Why don't you just buy yourself a better grade?
I threw my paper in his face. Even if I was bad at getting grades, I could still dance, sing, and run. I started going to classes and training after school, and in a few months, I was a part of both the school track team and the cheerleading squad.
I guess you can buy a place in any club.
Shut up, Ryan! Make me! I did make him shut up when I won my first gold medal in track. I rubbed it in his face so hard when my winning streak continued. My principal called me to her office to congratulate me and said,
Hannah, you can get amazing offers from colleges if you keep performing like this, but you have to maintain an average grade of AC.
That made me nervous, and his solution made me want to throw up.
We're going to partner you up with the best kid in school, Ryan.
Ryan walked in with the most evil look on his face. The teacher said that Ryan would be my partner in every class from now on, and he would tutor me every day after school. Oh no, I tried to protest, but my teacher thought it was a great idea and Ryan agreed with him. What was he going to get out of this? The answer was simple. He wanted to torture me. He gave me a mountain of homework every day. And if I didn't do it, he threatened to report me to the teacher whenever we partnered up for projects. He made me do all the work for the learning experience. He was going out of his way to annoy me. And one day, I just vented to my dad about it at dinner. I was not prepared for what Dad did next. He showed up at school and barged into class with the principal. They announced that Ryan was expelled for bullying me. What? We all rushed to the principal's office and I screamed at my dad. What are you doing?
Getting rid of your bully.
I didn't want you to solve my problem. I just wanted your support.
I am supporting.
You can't just crush people's lives for me. It's not fair. It's what made everyone hate me in the first place. If you do this, I am never talking to you again.
Dad looked shocked. We had never shouted at each other like this.
Fine, he can stay. Never bully my daughter again.
With that, Dad stormed out without even looking at me. I'd never fought with him before, and I couldn't help but cry when Ryan offered me a tissue. I slapped his hand away.
I don't want your help. Just go away.
I'm not helping you. I'm just standing near you and I happen to have a tissue.
I snatched it out of his hands and turned to leave, but he pulled me back.
Why didn't you just let him expel me? Don't I bug you?
I'm not a jerk. I hated taking Cindy's place, and I wish I could undo it. I'd never do that to someone again.
I may have been meaner to you than I needed to be, I'm sorry.
You're what?
I'm sorry, okay? I'm not saying it again.
With that, he ran away, and I was stunned. This was the nicest conversation we'd had in years. When I went home that day, Dad and I sat down to talk about what happened. To my surprise, he apologized for going overboard. I made him promise to trust me and let me handle my life myself.
How can I make it up to you? Is there anything that you want?
That's when I got an idea. I asked Dad to pay the school to offer Cindy a place again. She's living away from her family because of us. We should fix it. Dad agreed. And the next day, he put in a request to have Cindy transferred back. She accepted the offer from our school, and when Ryan realized she was coming back, he went crazy.
Did you do this?
Yes, I'm so happy she got accepted.
Thank you.
He grabbed me in a hug so tight I could barely breathe. He finally forgave me for everything that happened, and we became friends again. He tutored me for real this time. He found colorblind-friendly versions of our textbooks, and if he couldn't, he would make notes that I could clearly understand. I finally got a B average, and I got an offer from an amazing college. I literally flew into Ryan's arms. He lost his balance, and we fell. Our faces were so close together that I blushed. Suddenly, someone pulled him away from me. It was Cindy. She was back, and I was nervous. I was sure that she still hated me for all those years she had to be away from her family. But she acted totally sweet and normal.
I know you took my spot, but I bullied you when we were kids. We both did stupid things. I miss my family, but I had a nice life in school. I'm just happy to be back now, and I hope we can be friends.
I was shocked, but Cindy and I actually started hanging out. When Ryan finally got into his dream college, we all celebrated together. One day, Cindy showed up at my house and she was in tears. She told me that her family was out of money.
There's no way they can pay for Ryan's college.
But he literally dreams about college.
He can't go unless you do something about it. Your dad has connections, right? He can convince the college to give him a full scholarship.
No, we can't interfere.
We have to. Ryan already has a spot, so we're not hurting anyone. He works so hard. He deserves this.
I was scared, but she was right. I asked my dad for help and he said,
I have a friend at the university I can talk to. I'll do it.
A few days later, Ryan showed up at school fuming.
Did your dad contact the scholarship committee behind my back?
No.
Tell me the truth.
Everyone fell silent.
Yes, he did.
They just sent me their rejection letter for using my connections to get a scholarship. They banned me from applying again. You ruined everything, Hannah.
My jaw hit the floor as he stormed off. I'd messed up horribly. Ryan refused to come to school, and he didn't pick up any of my calls. Cindy even took me to their house, and he just hid in his room and played music at the highest volume so he couldn't hear me. I was utterly shattered by what I'd done. I told my dad about it, and he came up with a plan. He apologized to the committee and told them that Ryan had no idea about his involvement.
My daughter has a crush on the kid at school, so she made me do it.
Oh my God, Dad! With his explanation and a sizable donation, the school agreed to lift the ban on Ryan. I literally flew over to his house to tell him about it. He wouldn't open the door, so Cindy let me in through the window in his room.
What the heck?
The college wants you back. They lifted the ban.
I got their email. Did your dad pay for this too?
Maybe he did. So what?
It feels like you do whatever you want, and you just pay for your problems to go away.
I didn't pay for my problems to go away. I did it for you. I thought you deserved that school.
You're being an idiot, Ryan. I convinced Hannah to help. She didn't even want to do it.
I could have gotten into so much trouble.
I just acted rashly because I care about you. I wanted you to have what you want, and I almost ruined everything. I'm really sorry. When Ryan finally forgave me, I literally burst into tears. I did not like feeling guilty. They both hugged me, and I finally felt better. I promised to never mess with their lives again now that all three of us were friends. Cindy noticed my feelings for Ryan instantly. She was so excited for me to ask him out, but I would get all nervous and chicken out every time. One day, Ryan and I were sitting in the cafeteria when a boy walked up to me.
Hey, Hannah, Cindy said you were looking for a date, so I thought I'd take you out to dinner. You in?
Cindy gave me a wink and Ryan just glared at him.
She can't go out with you. She's going out with me.
I am?
Oh, I didn't ask you. I'll do it now. Hannah, you want to go out with me?
Dude! I asked her first.
She'll pick me.
I don't know.
Ah, come on!
It's a real pickle. I'll need 2 or 3 days to think about it. Ryan leaned across the table and kissed me. I was breathless.
Yes, my plan worked.
My mom was a popular Italian actress. So right since I was a toddler, I was used to the paparazzi going berserk the moment I stepped out in public. And honestly, I loved being in the spotlight. Hello, guys! Ready for some new poses? I always knew I wanted to be an actress like Mom. So I begged her to take me to auditions. I'd get in front of the camera and everyone would go nuts.
Mamma mia, Isabella, you're a born actor.
Well, that was kind of true. Mom said I was a very expressive baby. And when I was in the 2nd grade, I pretended for a whole year that I was some celebrity whose life was being secretly recorded. Thanks to my natural acting skills, I was already a successful actress. By the time I was 15, my life was almost perfect. But things started going downhill quickly after that. Mom lost some film contracts to younger actresses, and she started getting plastic surgeries to look younger. A few of them went horribly wrong. Mom, what happened to your nose? You kind of look like the Joker.
Shush! I know what I'm doing, Isabella.
But Mom ended up looking so weird. No one wanted to cast her in their films anymore. This broke her heart. And she slowly transformed into this wild party animal who dated a new guy every month. And the worst part? She was blowing tons of money, buying expensive gifts for them. Mom, I just saw your boyfriend kissing one of our maids. He's a total jerk.
Oh, really? Then I guess I'll give that limited edition Rolex watch to my next boyfriend.
Mom kept going around with the biggest buttheads on the planet and spending money like water. Her falling reputation in film circles affected me too. And in a matter of a few months, we were both sitting at home with no work. Then Mom tried one business idea after another, but nothing worked out. And soon enough, we exhausted all our savings. Even the banks kicked us out, and all of our relatives turned us away. I was so angry at Mom for getting us into this mess, and the paparazzi were having a field day selling news about our downfall. But one night, Mom walked into my room and sat on my bed.
Isabella, I'm so sorry about everything. Oh, how I just wish that American business was in my name. That could have saved us right now.
What business?
I invested in a perfume business with my friend in the US a few years back, and it became really successful. But it's entirely in her name.
Why?
I didn't want to pay the taxes.
Oh my God, that was typical Mom.
Last year, I had a fight with her, and now that witch won't give me my share of the investment back.
What if I go to the US and talk to her? Mom loved the idea, and I took the next flight to the US. When I reached Mom's friend's house, she looked pleased to see me.
Wow, you're as pretty as your mom. Or as pretty as she used to be once.
Thank you? I think you know why I'm here.
Your mom and I are childhood friends, and you're very welcome in my house. Stay as long as you like.
But I'm talking about Mom's investment.
What's the hurry, Isabella? We'll talk about this unpleasant business later.
The next day, I kept trying to remind her of Mom's money, but she simply wouldn't talk about it. I knew this was not going to be easy, but I was determined to get our money back from that witch. One day, as I was leaving her study, I bumped into a boy around my age. I figured he was Mom's friend's son, and for some reason, he was dressed like Michael Jackson.
Hi, I'm Will, but I guess you already know that.
How would I know your name?
I know yours!
That's because I'm famous. Ugh, why is everyone here so stupid?
Hey, I'm not stupid. In fact, I might just be the solution to all your problems. Mom told me why you're here. I can help you get your money back in a month. Mom will do anything I say. Trust me. But on one condition.
And what's that?
You have to fake date me in front of my ex. She dumped me last month for another guy, and I'd love to show her that I'm with someone like you. You're a great actress. It shouldn't be a problem.
I stared at him and thought about it. Fake dating this weirdo wasn't something I was looking forward to, but I really needed that money. We have a deal. You'll get me my money in a month, and I'll make sure your ex eats her heart out and runs back to you. The next morning, I was nervous about going to a new school in a foreign country. But when I got there, kids practically jumped on me.
You're that Italian actress, Isabella, right?
I saw your toilet cleaner commercial. You looked like a goddess cleaning toilets with your perfect hands.
Just then, a guy took off his t-shirt and asked me to sign it. I obliged my fan happily, and soon, all the guys were doing that. I was loving this place. But just then, a teacher came and told everyone to put their shirts back on. What a buzzkill! I looked for Will to show me around school, but he simply disappeared. Sometime later, I found him in the cafeteria in a corner with a guy who seemed to be bullying him. There was a pretty blonde girl with them, too. The bully took out a paper from his pocket and started shouting,
"Attention, everyone. Here's a song that our lover boy Will once wrote. Mia, you're as sweet as honey. I'll buy you gifts with my money. Your hair is silky smooth. I even like your wisdom tooth.
The girl who I guessed was Will's ex looked really uncomfortable.
Stop it. You're embarrassing him.
But obviously that jerk just kept laughing and going on. I walked over and snatched the paper from him. Heck, what is wrong with you? You're such a rude donkey. And Will, I didn't know you wrote so well. Babe, I'm so glad I met you in Italy last summer. That caught Mia's attention.
Wait, last summer? As in before Will and I dated?
Don't worry, we didn't start talking again until an hour after you broke up. Mia turned red and walked away with her moron boyfriend.
Whoa! Did you see how jealous she looked? You're awesome!
Tell me something I don't know. By the way, that song was awful.
I promise I've gotten better since.
For the first time, I saw Will smile and noticed his cute dimples. The next day, Will turned up at school wearing a t-shirt with my photo printed on it, and it had Sugar Boo written in bold letters. And at lunch, he was standing on a chair in the cafeteria waving me over.
Isabella, the love of your life is here!
It was so freaking embarrassing. But just as I was pulling him down, Mia walked in. So I grabbed Will's collar and kissed him. Babe, I miss you so much. It's been 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 23 seconds since I last saw you.
Oh, my Sugar Boo. I'm sure it must have hurt when you fell from heaven. Is there an airport nearby? Or is my heart taking off?
God, he could win an Oscar for overacting. Later that day, I gave Will some tips on how to be a cool boyfriend. No more sleazy pickup lines or cringy songs.
But I read online that girls want their boyfriends to write songs for them.
Yeah, if they are good at it, which you are not, my friend. You just get me chocolates and flowers. Luckily, Will turned out to be a fast learner. We kept fake dating for a few weeks, and to be honest, it was fun. I even took him to the mall one day and gave him a complete makeover. The next day at school, I could see jaws drop when we walked hand in hand. Will was loving being popular, but the idiot was still hung up on Mia.
Our fake dating is working. I caught Mia looking at us 17 times today.
Come on, do you still want to date Mia? I don't think she's anything special. And with your new looks, any girl would go out with you.
Any girl? Will you go out with me? I mean, for real?
That question took me by surprise.
See, the problem is your life's always been so perfect that you have no idea what rejection feels like.
I wasn't rejecting you. And just so you know, my life is far from perfect. I'm here in a foreign country, miles away from home, just because my mom blew all our money, and I can't even land a movie role. But the point is, you deserve better than Mia.
Maybe you're right. Okay, now you stop frowning, or you'll get wrinkles on your pretty face.
He gently pinched my cheek, and for some reason, I felt butterflies in my tummy. Weird. A few days later, Mia surprised both me and Will when she came over and invited us to a party at her place. Will was excited to go, so I said yes. Mia had invited the whole class and we were having a blast dancing when suddenly a slow song started playing. Will pulled me close and we swayed to the slow beats. My heart was racing a bit and he smiled down at me with those adorable dimples. And suddenly he kissed me, and not like one of our fake kisses. I felt like the world around me had stopped. When he pulled back, I was breathless and I thought he looked shaken too.
Mia saw us kissing. I'm sure she must be burning with jealousy. Wait, she's coming our way. Be cool, Will.
Oh, so the kiss was for Mia. That shouldn't have hurt, but strangely it did.
Will, I wanted to talk to you for a moment.
He immediately let go of me and followed Mia. I just stood there like an idiot. When Will didn't return for half an hour, I went looking for him and found him in the kitchen washing dishes. Will, what's the matter with you? You left me alone for this?
Actually Mia's maid didn't turn up, so she asked me to help her. And guess what? She said she'd even think about getting back with me.
What? Suddenly, dozens of kids barged into the kitchen, along with Mia's boyfriend, who started recording Will on his phone.
Haha, this is your place, you loser. Can you come to my party next week? I'll pay you $50 to do the dishes.
Everyone started laughing, and just then Mia walked in too.
Stop it, you all! I asked Will to help me. He's just being a good friend.
But Will didn't say anything. He simply took off his apron and left. I decided to leave the party too, but suddenly Mia grabbed my arm.
Remember this. Will might pretend to like you, but I still have him wrapped around my finger. He'll do anything for me, and I can have him back anytime I want.
So you're just going to keep stringing him along? You're a witch, Mia! And guess what? When I was looking for Will earlier, I saw your boyfriend making out with another girl in the bathroom. And I wasn't even lying. Those two jerks deserved each other. When I reached home, I marched straight up to Will's room angrily. How do you feel making a complete fool of yourself?
Well, Mia did side with me.
Oh, stop it! Do you seriously think she wants to get back with you? She's manipulating you. Are you blind?
What's your problem? Don't you want me to get back with Mia so that you can just get your money and leave?
You're pathetic, Will. Know your own worth and have some self-respect, dude.
I don't remember asking you for a lecture on how to live my life.
Fine. Do whatever you want. Date me and marry her. Whatever. I don't care. I slammed the door hard and stormed off to my room. Idiot. The next day, I didn't even sit with Will at lunch, and I felt even madder when I saw Mia walk up to him.
Will, I broke up with my boyfriend. The jerk was cheating on me, and I was a fool not to realize how amazing you were. Can we get back together? I know you still care.
Well, I'm not too sure about that anymore. I'm done being your backup plan, Mia. Good luck with your life, but I'm not interested anymore.
Mia looked stunned, and Will just walked out. That was amazing. When I reached home that day, I found Will waiting for me in my room with an envelope in his hands.
You kept your part of the deal. Now it's my turn.
I took the envelope, and when I opened it, my eyes almost popped out. It was a check for $20 million. How did you manage to do this?
Let's just say I'm Mom's only weakness, so it wasn't that difficult.
Thank you. I guess now there is no reason for me to stay back any longer. Will looked at me and then spoke.
I guess there isn't. I'll drop you at the airport when you're ready.
Soon I flew back to Italy, and Mom and I started our own perfume business with that money. Thankfully, it took off, and I also started getting acting offers once things settled down. One day, while I was shooting, I noticed a familiar face in the crowd. A face I'd been dying to see again. Will, what are you doing here?
Listen, Isabella, I know I suck at writing songs, but I have to say this.
Oh, please, not a song.
Just listen. No matter what I do, I'm always thinking of you. You're stuck in my head like glue, and I think I'm in love with you.
You're such a doofus, Will, and I love you too.
Hi, I'm Olivia from Florida. Please like and subscribe. My mom always told me the day I was born was quite an exciting one. At the hospital, when she held me for the first time, she gasped at my eyes. They were midnight blue in the center, with a light blue ring outside. The nurses were stunned too, and, well, a bit confused.
Blue eyes are rare, and you both have brown eyes. Quite unusual.
What are you trying to say, woman? You think this isn't our child? Did you cause a mix-up in the nursery?
No, of course not, sir. I was only saying...
How about you keep your useless opinions to yourself? Her eyes are nothing special to talk about.
And for some reason, it always really annoyed him when people noticed and talked about my eyes, which was every time they met me. And as I grew older, I started realizing that I had a strange power. I could get what I wanted using my eyes. Let me give you an example. Once, when I was 6, I went with my parents to their friend's house who had twins my age. I could tell the boy was really sweet, but the girl didn't like me much. When she left the room for a while, the boy climbed onto her bunk bed and returned with a beautiful doll.
Her eyes are just like yours. I think you should have her.
Oh, wow. Really? Thank you so much.
Hey, thief, you can't have my doll.
But your brother gave it to me. It even looks like me.
It's not his, it's mine. And it looks nothing like you. Witch, let go.
I pulled harder, and suddenly the doll's head snapped off. The girl burst into tears and went running to her parents. Oh boy, I'd be in so much trouble with Dad. Suddenly, I looked deep into the boy's eyes.
And that's what he said, word for word.
The girl's parents apologized to me and scolded her. Over time, I just couldn't help using my eyes more often to get my way. Sometimes I knew it was wrong, but it was just too easy. I only had to look at people with my big baby blues, and teachers would help me. During exams, people would give up their seats on the bus, and if someone got the last hot dog at lunch before me, they were sure to surrender it. By the time I was in high school, I was quite popular with the boys and had my girl gang too. But I knew I wasn't well liked by the mean girls, especially the head cheerleader, Emma. She was the girl whose doll I'd broken as a kid, and she hated me since one day in 9th grade, a group of cheerleaders and jocks in the cafeteria were talking about a cool new movie they were going to watch that weekend. It sounded like fun, and I wanted an invite, so I walked straight up to this boy, Zach. Hey guys, I was wondering if I could tag along to the movies with you this weekend. Zach hesitated, and then he looked directly into my eyes. I knew what his answer would be.
Of course, Olivia.
Thanks, Zach. You're a sweetheart.
Did you just invite her to the movies without asking any of us?
What's the big deal? I don't think anyone has a problem.
The rest just shrugged, and Emma glared at me before storming off. I was still grinning when I walked over to my locker later, and I found her waiting there.
You're not going to the movies? No way. I don't care what Zach said. You're uninvited.
What are you going to do? Ban my entry into the cinema? You can't. So I'll see you there. I turned to leave, but she knocked my books out of my hand and stepped on them. I grabbed her by the hair, and we broke into a cat fight. We both ended up in the principal's office, and she immediately called our parents. I didn't do anything. She started it. I hadn't even touched her. She pulled my hair. The principal also called in a few witnesses from the hallway, and luckily for me, it was a bunch of boys I knew. I only had to look at them, and they all said Emma was to blame.
No way. She can't get away with everything just by batting her dumb eyes. She looks like an angel, but she's a lying witch who has everyone dancing to her tune.
But Emma got detention while I was let off with just a warning. On the car ride home, though, Mom and Dad were really quiet. But Emma got detention while I was let off with just a warning. On the car ride home, though, Mom and Dad were really quiet.
You've always tried to get your way by manipulating people ever since you were a kid. Now it seems worse than I thought.
Okay, so people are sometimes nice to me and do what I ask. What's so wrong with that?
We'll talk about this tomorrow. You are grounded for a week.
What? Why the heck?
Olivia, enough. You heard what your dad said.
But the next morning, I found them waiting for me in the dining room with a small box on the table. What's this?
Something to cover up your eyes. You need to learn that life isn't so easy, and you can't just get whatever you want.
Inside the box were brown contact lenses. They were the color of mud. Are you kidding me? You think I'm going to wear those?
You have to wear them if you want to continue going to school.
With angry tears, I grabbed the box and ran out of there. It took me a few tries to wear the contacts, but I finally managed, and I hated what I saw staring back at me in the mirror. It wasn't me. At school, I was hoping by some miracle no one would notice, but of course, everyone did.
Why are your eyes suddenly brown? Did your evil spell finally wear off once you got all your wishes?
Everyone's comments made things hard because it felt really embarrassing to say my dad was making me wear brown lenses. I made up some lame excuse about how the doctor had recommended them for an eye condition, but it didn't seem to convince anyone. And suddenly, no one seemed to care about me much. Luckily, a month later, Dad's job caused him to transfer to another state. A fresh start was exactly what I needed. No one in school there would ever know I had blue eyes before. But it was quite strange walking into this new place and not having anyone pay much attention to me. My classmates seemed pleasant enough, but everyone just went off with their groups at lunch. I was sitting outside having lunch under a tree when someone dropped down next to me.
Hello, mind if I join you?
You already have, and I don't mind at all.
Good, because I'm too tired to get up anyway.
Plus, I've been waiting for someone new to show up for ages. All these other girls just talk about boys and makeup, and they think they're from another planet. Or they think I'm from another planet. Her name was Grace, and I warmed up to her instantly. We quickly became close friends, but I just couldn't tell her my stupid secret. A few weeks later, we were sitting on the gym floor, making decorations for an event, when some guys started playing basketball. And suddenly, the ball came flying at me and hit me smack in the face. I opened my eyes, and looking down at me was a gorgeous boy with black hair and the deepest blue eyes ever had. I died and gone to heaven.
Hey, are you okay?
Of course she's not okay, you moron. You could have killed my best friend.
Grace pulled me up, but my knees gave way, and the boy swept me up effortlessly. He carried me to the bleachers and said he'd be back with some water.
Olivia, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I see. Yeah, you aren't fine. And if he has his way, you never will be again.
What do you mean? Just then, the boy returned with a water bottle and knelt beside me.
Really sorry. We should have been more careful.
Oh, don't worry. I don't mind. I mean, it's just a ball, not a rocket. Now that would hurt. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe I have a concussion, but I'm okay. O-Y-A-K. See? I can still spell. He just smiled at me and ran off to his friends. What a blubbering idiot. I turned to Grace and saw she'd already left. Later that night, I got permission from my parents to stay over at Grace's. So tell me, what do you know about the gym boy?
That's Levi. He's my older brother.
You're what now?
Yeah, I know. Different set of genes. But Olivia, he's a heartbreaker. He changes girlfriends faster than he changes underwear. He knows he's good looking, and he uses it to make girls like him. And then bam, 2 weeks later, some girl is crying in the school bathroom and he's got a new girlfriend.
Really? But he seems sweet.
How would you know? He's my brother, and I'm telling you, he's a jerk.
Is he here, like, right now?
Yeah. But you don't want to talk to him, right? You're here to have a slumber party with me, and I just told you.
He's a jerk. Right. Gotcha.
But I couldn't get Levi off my mind.
Grace messaged me on Monday that she had the flu and wasn't coming to school, and I decided this was a great chance to talk to her brother. On the bus, I was thinking about what I'd say to him when someone sat down next to me.
Sorry, seats in the back are full.
Holy lady luck! It was Levi! But it seemed like he hadn't recognized me and just started reading a book. What you readin'? He turned the cover to me without looking my way. Oh, nice. I've never read that.
Okay, good to know.
Wow, he did seem like a bit of a jerk, but I wasn't giving up yet. If it's good, maybe I'll read it. I'm the girl from the gym, by the way. The one you hit with the basketball.
I know that. I didn't have memory loss. It's just that you're Grace's BFF and she told me to stay away from you.
That's strange. She didn't say anything to me. And why can't we all be friends? Grace was down with some virus and couldn't attend school for 2 weeks, and I ended up spending all my time with Levi. He was gorgeous, but he was also funny and thoughtful, and I just couldn't help liking him. And I had a feeling he liked me too. But when Grace returned, she was furious seeing us together.
So what? You've replaced me with Levi now?
Of course, I haven't. You weren't here, and we just started hanging out.
And now you're in love with him, aren't you? Even after what I said? Doesn't take anyone too long to fall in love with Levi. He gets anything he wants.
I was upset that Grace was mad, but I didn't want to give up on Levi either. Later that day, as I was running an errand, I passed by a cafe window and stopped in my tracks. Levi was sitting there with some blonde girl I'd never seen before. He suddenly spotted me, and I started walking away quickly.
Olivia, please stop. It's not what it looks like.
It's none of my business, Levi, so no need to explain. I obviously misread some signs. You should go back to your girlfriend. 2 weeks, and it's time for a new girl. Yeah, just like Grace said.
She said what?
That you're a heartbreaker, and that you change girls faster than clothes, and that I should stay away from you.
Olivia? She made that up. Okay, I went out with her best friend a year ago, but things ended badly between us. She blocked out Grace, too, and moved away. And it broke Grace's heart. In fact, that girl in the cafe is my ex. She's in town and wanted to return some things, and you didn't misread any signs. I like you a lot, and I was planning to ask you to the winter dance.
I need to talk to Grace first. Okay. I had a heart-to-heart with Grace, and she admitted that she'd lied about Levi.
I know he's a good guy, but I don't want to lose another friend.
Pinky swear, no matter what happens between me and your brother, we'll stay friends forever. We decided to go shopping together for the winter dance, and I found a beautiful blue dress. As I looked in the dressing room mirror, I suddenly took my contacts out and called Grace.
What happened to your eyes?
I told her all about how I'd get whatever I wanted because of my eyes. So my parents made me cover them up.
That is ridiculous. They can't make you do that.
I know, but maybe it hasn't been the worst thing. I got you and Levi, and it has nothing to do with my eyes. But yeah, I think I just want to be myself now. When I got home, I walked into the lounge where my parents were watching TV.
What have you done?
I'm tired of covering up my real eyes. This is who I am, and I won't hide it anymore. I'm done with your controlling nonsense.
You'll do what I say as long as you live under my roof.
Then maybe I won't live under your roof. I went upstairs to gather my things so I could go stay at Grace's house when suddenly Mom came in.
I need to show you something.
She pulled out contacts from her eyes, and they were the brightest blue, just like mine.
Your dad hated the attention I attracted, and after we got married, he made me cover them up. But you're brave to stand up for yourself, and I don't want to let you down again. I'm leaving with you.
We packed our things and left Dad for good. We checked into a hotel until we could find a place. But for the first time, I saw Mom happy and free. The next day, I put on my blue dress for the dance, and Levi came to pick me up.
Grace told me about your eyes. You look beautiful.
You think so?
Yeah. But no matter what color they are, I'd think that anyway.
What's up? I'm Garrett, and my parents adopted me from a poor farm in Sri Lanka, and now living a millionaire life because of my politician parents. Honestly, living rich isn't my thing, but keep that between us. I appreciate everything my parents have done for me, yet I've noticed that wealthy folks tend to boss others around over the most ridiculous stuff.
I asked for a gold-plated toilet seat, not this regular one. What are you, stupid?
Mom, who cares? It's just a toilet seat. No one's going to rate our bathroom on the luxury loo leaderboard. I ended up spending all my free time strumming on my guitar with my best friend in the entire world, John.
Time for the next gig. You in?
Met John during a tryout for a local band, and we've been tight ever since. We made it into the band and began performing at local charity events. It was amazing to see how happy we could make people. One day, while we were playing at a soup kitchen, I noticed a disturbance. A bully was harassing one of the most beautiful girls I'd ever seen.
I found twigs in the soup you made. I want my money back.
It's free, and I saw you put those in there.
I was about to step in when the girl poured soup all over the bully's head. Security came and threw her out. I quickly ran outside to let her know how awesome that was. But she had already disappeared. But when I got back to John's, he had the biggest smirk on his face.
Do you remember that cute girl who souped that bully?
Duh!
Well, her name's Sunny, and I asked her out, so she's kind of my girlfriend now.
I felt like a giant rock had been stuck in my throat. But you guys, what was I supposed to do? There's a bro code. That's awesome, John. But as they started dating, I started to see less and less of John. And whenever we did hang out, all he would ever talk about was Sunny.
You know, Sunny supports her entire family. She has like 17 jobs.
Wow, the next day my parents had a huge surprise in store for me. A pretty girl was spinning around in my kitchen, batting her eyelashes in slow motion. Honestly, it was a little ridiculous.
Hello, I'm Olivia.
I'm Garrett, and why are you here?
Well, son, it's your 18th birthday and your present is Olivia. She's gonna be your wife.
My what?
Did you really think we'd leave your matchmaking up to fate?
But your mother and I were in an arranged marriage. Look how happy we are.
I was definitely not convinced.
Olivia's living with us until the wedding. You'll have plenty of time to get to know her.
I tried it first for my parents' sake, but everything about Olivia rubbed me the wrong way. Every time she opened her mouth, I felt like some brain cells had died. One time we traveled to the village where I was born.
Ew, I could never be that poor. How sad and pathetic.
That really made me want to slap on her stupid face. Garrett, remember? You're a gentleman! I needed out of this. A life with Olivia would be a life tied to the very type of person I hated most, so I decided to run away. As I was climbing out of my window, John pulled up to my house. How could I forget? We were supposed to practice together.
Bro, what are you doing?
My parents want me to marry this total snozberry. I'm running away.
What? Garrett, you can't give your life up.
I don't have any other choice. I couldn't bring myself to say no to my parents or break their hearts, so it's either run away or marry her. Besides, it's not like I have any other romantic leads. But then John looked at me with this sparkle in his eye.
What if you hired a fake fiancé and told your parents you're already getting married?
I burst out laughing. Yeah, right. Would anyone actually be interested? I mean, it's a little pathetic.
Sunny could do it.
You mean your girlfriend?
Yeah, she's desperate for money. Let me ask.
And then he started texting her. Wait, John, isn't that weird? She's your girlfriend.
She said she's in, and who cares? Dude, it's just pretending. Besides, I trust you more than anyone.
I mean, it's not like I really had any other options. Luckily, my parents went on a business trip, so at least that bought me some time. The next day, I met up with Sunny and got up to pull her chair out, but she kicked it back in.
One thing straight, this is just a job.
Geez, I was just trying to be polite.
I love John.
So do I. But don't you feel weird that he's passing you off to me like you're some loaner car?
I would advise you to shut your face hole before I shut it for you.
Well, you better get an attitude transplant if you're going to be a convincing fiancé, otherwise this won't work. She looked at me with this mischievous smirk.
You don't have to question my believability. Trust me.
The next day, I invited Sunny to my school's potluck. I went to the bathroom for 2 seconds, and when I came back, I saw Sunny had entered the green chili eating contest. As Sunny shoveled chilies down her throat, she glared at me with cold hatred. And then, to my shock, she told everyone.
My fiancé holds the green chili eating world record.
Before I knew it, tears were streaming from our eyes as we ate chili after chili. Remind me to bathe in milk later. After Sunny won, I dragged her away from everyone. What are you doing?
Just having some fun with my fiancé.
I'm going to be in the bathroom for a week straight now because of you. But if that's what you want, I'll give it to you and eat until you're happy.
No, stop.
Suddenly, Olivia appeared out of nowhere.
Wow. Garrett, that is pretty impressive. My parents love spicy food. They're going to be so happy when they find out you can handle it.
And then she kissed me on the cheek and ran off. I wanted to flip a table.
What was that about?
You need to start playing by my rules, Sunny, or you can kiss your money goodbye.
I do one thing you don't like, and this is how you act. You're exactly who I thought you were. You're a rich, arrogant jerk.
I walked outside to blow off steam, literally. But I realized I got why she thought I was that way. I mean, rich people, they're the worst. I had to show her that I wasn't like that. I went back inside, but Sunny was nowhere to be found. I started to get worried, so I called John.
Did you seriously lose my girlfriend? Dude, I'm on my way.
Then I heard someone crying in the girls' bathroom. I took a chance. Sunny, it's Garrett. I wanted to apologize. She unlocked the door, but when she opened it, I was shocked to see Sunny was covered in Jell-O. What happened?
That girl who kissed you on the cheek threw a whole Jell-O cake in my face.
Olivia. So maybe she was starting to get the message. I was almost a little excited when...
I look like a sea monster.
Here, let me help. I washed Sunny's hair in the sink and gave her my sweatshirt so she'd have clean clothes.
Why are you being so nice to me?
Because this is all my fault. Olivia attacked you because of me, and then I told her everything about the arranged marriage and Olivia. I'm sorry, Sunny, for all of this. This was stupid.
No, it's not. I was wrong about you. Just give me one more chance. I'll be the perfect fake fiancé.
And then she hugged me so tight that my heart started beating fast. But just then, the door swung open and...
What do you think you're doing?
No, and John, it's not what it looks like.
Wait in the car, Sunny!
John!
Now!
I didn't like the way he was talking to her. He was acting so controlling. John came for me, his nostrils literally flaring.
What gives, man? She's still my girlfriend.
Woo, dude, relax. This was your idea. Sunny and I are just...
Stop! Man, I see the way you look at her.
What? No, the bro code. I would never.
Whatever. Just finish this up as soon as possible.
I can't believe he was really gonna let a girl get between us after all we'd been through. The next day, I woke up and was surprised to see Sunny sitting at the edge of my bed.
I have a surprise for you.
Then she put a blindfold around me and put me in the driver's seat. I had no idea what was going on, but I've always been a sucker for surprises. And the next thing I knew, we were in the mountains. We climbed the whole thing. But what shocked me is that the longer we hiked, the more I actually started to love it. For the first time, I could drop everything and I could just be me. We took a picture together at the top, and Sunny put her arms around me. I blushed so hard. Maybe John was right. Maybe I was starting to catch feelings for Sunny, and it was magical.
Doesn't this feel like a scene from a movie, Garrett?
Yeah, of course. And when I got home that night, Olivia waiting for me.
You better be free tomorrow night.
Hello to you too.
My parents are coming for dinner to meet you. Our wedding's happening. Garrett, can you believe it?
I called Sunny immediately.
Why don't I just come to the dinner and they can see for themselves that you're taken?
Gosh, women are smart. If anything had a shot, it was that the next day, Sunny arrived at my house. She looked incredible. You look beautiful, all.
Thanks. Too bad tonight's our last night doing this. It's actually been fun.
But before I could confess my true feelings, John stepped out from behind her.
I thought you might need a little chaperoning to make sure you don't fail miserably, Garrett.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. When we got inside, Olivia and her parents were already there. It was now or never.
I said for just you to come.
Olivia, this is my best man, John. This is Sunny, my fiancé. I wished I could bottle the look of disgust on Olivia's face for the rest of eternity. I was waiting for her to explode, but she simply said,
Okay, then prove it. Kiss her?
What?
If she's really your fiancé, it shouldn't be hard.
I looked at John, who was fuming, but I had no other choice. Sunny gave me a nod of approval. I leaned in and kissed her, and the world seemed to stop.
Crash!
We broke the kiss and swirled around to see that John had just smashed a vase and stormed off. John, wait!
What happened to the bro code?
What was I supposed to do? You're the one who told me to do this.
I knew you were lying.
Kevin and I both turned to see that Olivia, her parents, and Sunny had followed us and overheard everything.
Nice try, Garrett, but I knew you'd never date low-life trash like Sunny. You're marrying me whether you like it or not.
Can you really blame him for wanting to leave? You've got the ugliest personality ever.
This was getting out of hand. They were literally pulling each other's hair, so I stepped in the middle of them. Girls, Sunny, stop! And she felt bad the way I screamed, so she dashed away. Things couldn't end like this between us, though. Her family was struggling, and I had to do what was right. So I followed her. Sunny, wait! Take this! I wrote her a check for $3 million.
Garrett, you shouldn't have to do this, any of this. Just be honest with your parents about Olivia. Maybe they'll understand.
She was right, but I was still afraid of disappointing my folks. Just take the money now, you can take care of your family.
What?
But she just stared at me blankly. That's why you took the job?
No, I took the job for John. I agreed to do it, and I give the money to his sick mom.
What? But John's mom isn't sick. Last week she ran the marathon. Just then we saw John with Olivia. He even had his arm around her. John, you lied to us. All this time you wanted my money for yourself. John turned around with an evil look in his eyes.
You don't even do anything with it. I deserve to have a little. Come on, Sonny, let's go.
I'm not going anywhere with you. You lied to me too. We're over.
Are you happy now? Garrett, you've ruined my life.
Don't be so dramatic. John,
consider our friendship over.
And then he went away. He was never a true friend to begin with if he was only after my money. Sonny called a cab, but there was really nothing to say. Except, I'm sorry for how this all turned out.
Me too.
I wanted to kiss her so badly, but before I even got the chance, Olivia had a tentacle around me. I guess that was that. My parents came back, and I went along with wedding planning. I felt like a total ghost. I droned out Olivia's non-stop, talking with thoughts of Sonny. I should have told her how I felt. I even texted her on the day of the wedding, telling her that it was happening, maybe in hopes she'd want to pull a big romantic gesture. But when the time came and Olivia was walking down the aisle, Sonny was nowhere to be found. The priest started officiating when I heard a familiar voice call out,
"Stop the wedding!"
Everyone turned and gasped. To my shock, it was John. John, what are you doing here?
Olivia, I love you. Let's run away from here. You want me to confess it in front of the whole world? So here I am.
What? But then Olivia ran over to John and started kissing him. I guess there was a lot more to that casual arm around her that night at dinner.
The wedding's off!
As they ran away together, I couldn't help but laugh. And then I was in for the shock of the century when my parents came up to me.
Son, I'm sorry we forced this upon you.
We never should have. We were wrong. Olivia is clearly not good enough for you. We made a mistake with her and just want you to be happy from now on. We've agreed. You choose who you love.
And they hugged me tightly and went to the guests. What just happened?
It looks like someone just got there. Happily ever after.
I turned around, shocked to see the priest removed his beard and hat. It was Sonny.
You seriously thought I'd miss watching this train wreck?
Sonny, I'm so sorry. Look, I know this sounds crazy, but although we were just pretending, I actually fell in love with you.
I know, silly. Why else do you think I'm here? I feel the same way.
How did I have no idea that was you?
I told you not to doubt my believability.
I laughed and grabbed her in my arms. What do you say? Should we make this a happy ending?
I thought you'd never ask.